there guys, welcome back to another awesome video, and we have another theory video. And normally I don't do a lot of theories on this channel, but I'm starting to kind of have that spark in my brain. This one I feel I've kind of have the urge and the need to talk about the Amazing Digital Circus, especially with the latest episode that just dropped. I think this episode dropped a few days ago, a week ago. I don't even know at this point. But the point is that I have a few things I want to touch on. But before we get into those, for any of you that don't know, the Amazing Digital Circus is a show you can watch on YouTube. It's done by Glitch Productions. They're known for other things like Murder Drones and some other projects. I'm not really familiar with Murder Drones. I have yet to really touch on Murder Drones. I know people love Murder Drones. I have no idea what it's about. I've barely gotten a chance to really watch it, but this is the only thing that I really know Glitch Production from. And essentially, it's the show, from what it seems and what everyone's been theorizing, is that these people, either these actual physical people, are wearing these like headsets, very much like VR type of style, or people's subconscious or people's minds are inside this virtual reality, and there's a lot more to this world than meets the eye. So if you haven't seen the latest episode, episode 2, because there's only 2 episodes, of course, because the pilot episode is considered episode 1, and then there's episode 2. If you haven't seen it already, I do suggest you do go check it out. We're gonna kind of go into somewhat of a spoiler of the second episode, because the first thing I do want to touch on is this specific scene that happens with one of the, I guess he's an antagonist. He's just mainly supposed to be an obstacle course that, and everyone like Pomni, Jax, Gangle, Kinger, like they're going on this quest. It's like kind of like LARPing, live action role playing, if you will. They're going on this quest for this object, for this MacGuffin, for this cliche, for this thing, you know. Insert whatever. I mean, it's syrup that they're after, a resource of some sort, but it's pretty much just like they're after some sort of object. And one of the programs is this character named Gummigoo, and him and Pomni fall down deeper into the system. Like they basically glitch through the surface, and Gummigoo starts to kind of like have like existential crisis, identity crisis happening, where he sees himself as if to basically say that he is an NPC. I believe that this scene is not only really like so like deep and so profound in a way, but also I feel that this is touching on something that might not be too far off from FNAF, Five Nights at Freddy's, because Five Nights at Freddy's lately, in the past like couple of years, has been touching on the idea of newer technology and AI. Normally we associate AI with AI art and all this new lingo that's associated with nowadays. AI has been a thing since artificial intelligence, and since it's been, I guess, a thing even in the 90s, even the early 2000s, as it was just a code, or it was just programming in computers and just inputs and command inputs. Whether this is set in modern time or even in the late 90s, there's still this association with AI, and even Caine in the beginning of the episode emphasizes so much on the new AI technology.
I'm testing out a new AI in this one!
Ooh, a new AI. The new AI, Zuby.
Using the AI for NPCs, and so these NPCs are programmed and coded to imitate or even mimic people's movements, expressions, and emotions. Or maybe this could also apply to our main cast of colorful characters, that maybe they're being replaced by AI, or their subconsciouses are like in the system, or in the server, in the code, and it's all being mimicked throughout the entire show, or throughout the entire program, or throughout the entire project. Even if that isn't the case, it does feel like these NPC characters like Gummigoo aren't aware that they are considered AI, or they aren't considered a part of the code. They aren't aware that this is a game, that this is a show, this is a program, this is whatever, this simulation. That's better and more fitting. Simulation. They aren't aware that this is a simulation. Speaking of codes and programs and all this other stuff, we're gonna kind of go into another, the bigger scale and scheme theory that I have in mind that I just developed. I want to say either just today or just yesterday that I thought of. Either way, I thought about this when I was watching the GT Live video. But I have a proposition. So the theory's been going around. This show kind of has a bit of biblical references, specifically to the two fallen angels of Cain and Abel. And I don't know too much on those two, but I'm going to at least take from context that Cain and Abel were angels, and Cain wound up basically stabbing Abel in the back so he can be closer to God, or in some way, shape, or form closer to God. Something along those lines. So we already have a character named Caine in this show, which already right there kind of signals that maybe this might be hinting at something not biblical, but maybe something a little bit more bigger than what we expect. Ironically enough, I touched on the fact that Gummigoo had an existential crisis in episode 2. In the pilot, Pomni has an existential crisis when she sees the headset and the old computer TV monitor, implying that that headset or that TV monitor was once hers, or maybe some shape or form that she recognizes that monitor. The other portion that's been going on is that Pomni might have made this game, or might have made this show, this digital circus virtual reality, or maybe was associated with the company that made this virtual reality. I think personally she could have maybe perhaps been the creator of this program from the beginning. Like maybe she wanted to create this virtual reality for whatever entertainment, for whatever enjoyment, for whatever fun purpose, whatever the case was, had people involved, and one of those people was just so happened to be the human of Cain, whoever that may be. And Cain maybe wanted to get his little grubby fingers on it, and basically he physically or digitally gets rid of Pomni. Maybe Pomni, being the creator, had in mind that she wanted her character or her essence or her subconscious to be programmed into the server, into the system, that she's the one that runs the rings and runs the show and runs everything going on here. And Cain maybe wanted a little bit of that action, so he gets rid of Pomni in any way, shape, or form, and perhaps maybe recodes, reprograms the entire system, erasing Pomni from existence to the point where she doesn't remember who she is in the real world, and that she's kind of like starts from scratch as a new person, as a new individual in this virtual reality, and that Cain is running the show. And especially since he's made himself the ringmaster, he's made himself the ringleader, he's made himself God, or a false god, if you will, if we're going to go into that biblical sort of territory.
You must be the brave knight sent to us by God to help us with our recent catastrophe.
And you could also say that this is almost very much similar to kind of like Wreck-It Ralph, where King Candy was trying to basically unplug and repurpose, recode, and reprogram the entire game and the entire system to where everyone forgot who Vanellope was, and that she was the princess of that game, and to where King Candy runs the show. So you could say that Caine's kind of like pulling at King Candy, or we could kind of look at it this way and say that maybe Pomni is the Abel in this story. And that, my friends, is just a theory. But anyways, what do you guys think? I know this is a little bit of a rough sketch, but I feel so strongly about this that they're kind of like borrowing a little bit of those inspirations. But let me know what you guys think down below, and I'll probably have a link to those 2 episodes if you want to watch the Amazing Digital Circus, so that way you guys don't get spoiled. But as always, guys, thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, please smash the button. If you're new to my channel, please subscribe and watch the videos every day, if not every week. Make sure you ring that bell, the new videos every week. Share the video, favorites, all the good stuff and more. Leave suggestions down in the comments. You name it, I'll look into it as best as possible. Look out for, there's gonna be a few top 10s, a few lore videos, a few reviews, all sorts of other things mixed up, sprinkled in any day, every week, every month, whatever is gonna happen. So thank you guys so much for watching. I will see you next time.